Making a video for how to do the trans service on the Ford 500. This one is for not the ones with the CVTs, but this is just for the regular 6-speed non-all-wheel drive version Fords. So if yours is just a regular front-wheel drive, your vehicle does not have a CVT. What it actually has, it has an Ace and Warner 6-speed automatic transmission from Toyota. So first things first, you want to go ahead, lift your car up. I already did that. And next thing you want to do is, when you're under your vehicle, these transmissions, they don't have transmission filters on them. And the only thing you would have is just your drain plug, which is right here. And that is a T55. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to break that loose and start draining this joint. Alright, well, mine's already cracked it open, but it's not difficult to open up. It's just how to use a little bit of pressure. Just make sure it's a T55. I also kind of clean out the grooves in there so that way you get a good bite in there. And go ahead and just let that drain out. And while that's draining, you want to... Another important thing you want to do is look at your drain plug. And you see how there's a lot of magnetic... You see there's a lot of dirt and debris. So you want to go ahead and wipe off this drain plug. And you can see the magnet right there. You can see all the gunk and shit that's on there. So you want to go ahead and just wipe that off. So while your transmission is draining out, just, give it a couple of minutes, let it, get everything out of there. You want to locate your how to fill it up. And for these, you have two ways. There's a access fill port, which is, I believe, under the battery over here. And, you got to remove all this crap to get to it. We're not doing that. I ain't got time for that shit. So what we're going to do is, if you look down there, you see that little yellow tab? That's actually the fluid, the dipstick. So we're going to take that out. And another thing is, I forgot to say, when you do the service, make sure your engine is at temperature. Make sure it's at operating temperature before you drain the fluid out. Because if you drain it out while the trans is still cold, you're not going to get everything out. So that's the proper way to do a drain refill. So just be careful, because the cat is literally right here. I'm going to burn your hand. And try to just... Alright, that's not going to work. So we're going to go under. And when we go under, because I got some big ass hands, and we're going to take this fucker out right here. And you can see right here in my... I don't know if you guys see that or not, but it's still dripping. So just let it do that while you set everything up. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get my extended funnel, which is right here. Relatively cheap. Get it from AutoZone, not even $5. And open it up. All right, once when you have your funnel set up, so I have mine set up right here, and I actually just went under the car, and it's easier if you go under the car because you can get to the spout of the drain of the filler tube, which is right here. So once when you have that set up, we're going to go ahead, we're going to reinstall our drain plug for the trans. And I'm going to put that back on, start with your fingers. It's supposed to be, I believe, 16 Newton meters of torque. I don't need to measure the torque because I'm going to do it again. So really, I just put it hand tight. You know, you don't over tighten it, but a good quarter turn. That's it, because we're going to have to do this again within a couple miles. And we're going to look at our fluid. And you can see how freaking dark that is. That is not good. That's actually pretty almost burnt. Alright, the next thing you want to do is just measure whatever came out. That's what you want to exactly put back in. So what I like to do is I like to get like an apple juice bottle, which is usually about, as you see, it's 2 quarts. And what I'm going to do is we're going to take this and we're going to see how many times it's going to fill up this jug here, which is a gallon. So I'm going to start doing that. All right, so after I measured, I got about, it's not quite 4 quarts. It's just shy of 4 quarts. I'm going to say it's about 3.5. I'm gonna just put 3.5 in there and check the level. The reason why we're measuring it is because, I mean, we still have the dipstick here, which tells you, where the transmission fluid is supposed to be at. It's just very difficult to get to. So I'm gonna put 3.5 transmission fluid back in there. I'm pretty sure if you put the 4 quarts in there, usually that's what you get out when you drain it, is about 4 quarts. That's why we say warm up the engine, make sure it's at operating temperature before you drain it, so that way you get the 4 quarts out. But the fluid that we're going to use, and the fluid you could only use in any Ace and Warner transmission like this car, is it has to be Toyota Type 4, or you could use Mobil 1 3309, or the actual Ace and Warner transmission fluid, which is quite expensive. But these transmissions, they're very sensitive to what fluid you use. So you can't use like Castrol Transmax or all makes, all models, that kind of crap. That's not gonna cut it in the transmission. I went to the Toyota dealership and I actually only paid $5.80 a quart. So you get about 6 quarts of this. It came up to under $40. So it's really inexpensive, and this is what it calls for. It's an Ace and Warner, which is Toyota transmission. So you want to use this transmission fluid in there. And I'm going to put the 1, 2, 3. Somebody spitting down there. 4 quarts, 3.5.